Hello and welcome back, folks. We are going to our Ionian division next here between two teams, Team Tempest and versus Funky Ducks here. I'm excited to watch these two teams. Team Tempest always come under the show with some interesting plays and really interesting mechanics that I've watched in the past here. Coming with me today, as well as my color caster for this game, next couple games here, is Hunter. Hunter, give us a quick introduction. How you feeling today, and how do you feel about this game?
Hey Ryder, it's really great to be here, and I'm super excited to be able to cast our last series of the evening today. I'm very excited to see these teams play. As you said before, we've seen Team Tempest play quite a few times before. I'm excited to see more out of them. And I'm curious to see this my first outing with Funky Ducks, and I want to see what they bring to the field.
Very well said. And without further ado, folks, let's go quickly right on into our picks and bans and talk about team composition and how we are going to be predicting this game's going to look like.
Absolutely. We see here in this pick ban we got here, we have really interesting priorities coming out of both teams. Team Tempest coming in with the R1 or B1 Tristana pick rather, showing that they want a lot of priority on this safe, hyper scaling, late game AD carry sort of pick. And then following that up, we see Funky Ducks pick up the Karthus, the Lucian, and really showing an interesting composition there. Normally, you don't see Karthus super late game combined with Lucian, who's pretty early game oriented. But we see that Lucian here can help get lane pressure and cover for Karthus's weaknesses in the jungle if they're worried about invades. We see the Kindred come out immediately after that in an attempt to pseudo match the Karthus in scaling and punish him on invades if they get the opportunity. Syndra in the mid lane, good safe blind pick there. And then Xerath comes in as the counter pick to Syndra, something that can pretty safely outrange Syndra and play around her kill pretty easily and not have to be too worried. We see another wave of bans coming in, more support bans come out of the side of Ducks, whereas a variety top lane, maybe a support ban as well in the Veigar coming out of Tempest. And then we see the Blitzcrank immediately picked up as a way of perhaps pressuring the Xerath, the Lucian, even getting the Karthus late game. They're all super squishy, all very vulnerable to hooks. This is responded to by the Senna, or rather, that the Senna was picked before that. I'm sorry, and the Blitzcrank comes out to counter the Senna. More so, just another squishy target. Ornn comes out, safe blind pick top lane, and Shen rounds out the comp with some tanky stats, some split pushing. Don't really want a team fight into the Kindred Tristana Ornn comp, makes sense, and just rounds it all up in a nice bow.
Yeah, these two team comps are pretty nicely put together, like you were saying, and just like heavily going down against some bans on mains of enemy laners here. It should be a lot of fun to watch. And without further ado, let's quickly just jump right on into game here and talk about what we're going to be looking at for lane matchups.
Awesome. Now, as we see, we're getting into game. We have this Ornn Shen matchup, the double sort of safe lanes, scaling split push lane that we discussed earlier. And we see, well, this lane is going to be pretty simple, I think. We've seen this lane on cast a few times before. Ornn's just looking to scale, get his item power spikes. Shen's just looking to proc grasp as many times as he can, scale into late game, eventually be able to outpush the Ornn and out-sustain the Ornn going into 2 or 3 items and get a split push advantage off of that. In the jungle, we see Kindred versus Karthus. Again, Kindred has a slight invade advantage, but Karthus has a massive clear advantage. We see an invade coming in, though. See if anything comes of it. I don't think anything will. The ward is still there, and there's no sweeping lens on the side of Funky Ducks, so that'll create lots of havoc in this Karthus' first clear, letting the side of Team Tempest know where he is practically for the first 3-4 minutes of the game. Mid lane,
Yeah,
though, we
I
got
was gonna
something.
say there. I wanted to discuss there that just the counter. They knew the Blitzcrank was gonna be coming around, and you notice that the in reaction to this, that Funky Ducks all just group up by the blue buff and waiting for that invade to actually happen, which I find really interesting and really great to just counter invade the Blitzcrank that you know is coming.
Yeah. We do see Blitzcrank posturing around the blue buff. Doesn't get the hook on it, unfortunate. Blue buff should be secured pretty safely for the Karthus now. We see Syndra leashing the red buff for Kindred. And this is another thing to talk about here. We have a really spicy laning matchups coming out here. I know we talked about the mid lane matchup, but the mid lane matchup's actually the AD carry matchup with solo lane Tristana taking exhaust into an Ignite Lucian in the mid lane. Both of them definitely went into this lane thinking the other mid laner was mid. Both of them probably have magic resist. Actually, I can check that for us, and Tristana actually took armor. All right, you know what? They both knew. Very interesting.
Is that 4D chess right there? I think there's some 4D chess right there.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. But 280 carries in the mid lane, both with what we
Flash going down on top lane. Flash in response to this, and they both just are so low, unable to pick them up. You do see a nice hook coming in onto Varus. He is going to have to flash away there. He is ignited, but he's going to live because of the Senna is going to Q him, give him some extra health, and great trades along the map there, and really early aggression, too.
Yeah, and you're going to see a real big advantage for the Ornn up in this top lane with the Corrupting Potion and his Forge. He'll be able to build items, and we see another gank coming in top.
We do see Kindred actually going down and actually just going to be getting up first blood for herself there. Really great call to pick that up.
Yeah, and we don't see the mark coming down. The Kindred does have the mark on the Karthus, as per usual.
Syndra, nice double stun there. Is the Blitzcrank going to be able to hook someone? Oh, he does too!
Wow.
Max range hook gets the Vel'Koz. And then you see top lane here, another engage onto the Ornn from the Shen here. The Karthus is here. The Kindred is also going to respond, taking out the Karthus, but is not going to live with her life because Shen is going to pick her up as well.
Yeah, bloody game already. Kills going down across the map. 3 kills top lane already. And the kills in the bot lane. Blitzcrank landing a max range hook. That's that buff coming out there.
Pretty deceptive right there. I didn't think that was gonna land, but he just nipped a little bit of the butt cheek and said, "Come here, boy."
Yeah, it looked like it despawned the hook, and then it just pulled him anyways. And he's very, very close. Like, absolutely, probably just the literal last Teemo there. Getting the kill.
Yeah.
But this sort of works well into the bot lane matchup that we see here. The double mages in the bot lane. We see more trading going in top lane. Shouldn't result in a kill, but Shen does have double buffs.
Yeah, he's pretty,
suck to be this Ornn. In the bot lane, though, we see a really volatile matchup coming out. From the side of a Xerath player, you're really scared in this lane because even though you can outrange Syndra, you're forced to... We see more trading going on.
You do see some trading going on mid there. Nice, and she does get all 3 procs onto the Lucian, and a re-engage actually on the Shen to attack the Ornn. Ornn just gonna E away, really just gonna wait for this wave to crash into him. And same thing happening bot, just a crash. They're gonna regroup, they're gonna reassess the situation and move on from there.
Yeah, so we see really good adaptation actually coming out of the Ornn in the top lane from Phoenix. He built boots first so that he can just run away from this Shen without dying. Kindred does end up picking up a scuttle there. She currently is walking away with 1 mark. The first scuttle mark went down already. Karth is going to clear currently marked camp. Bot lane though, Xerath, when he's trying to dodge Scatter the Weak, he's forced to juke in really interesting ways, and that gives a great opportunity for the Blitzcrank as we see another trade going on top lane.
Another great trade, and the Ornn knows that the Shen will have Q up and will just decide to disengage instead of engaging. Even though Shen's beside the pillar, it will cost him his life if he does so.
Yeah, and with all of his cooldowns already down, he's just happy to sit there. He'll trade HP with the Shen. Shen's much more vulnerable than the Ornn at this wave state. The only thing Ornn has to be careful about is getting taunted, but we see the Ornn all come out.
Not able to connect because the Shen does dash away. The Karthus and the Kindred are both here in response to this. You do see Syndra going on to this, the Senna, and now you see the Karthus ult coming down. Double kill onto Karthus. He knew he had Ornn, but I'm not sure if he knew that he had Blitzcrank as well, but he's happy with that trade.
Yeah, really spicy coming out there from the Karthus, getting kills with his ulti in 2 lanes at once. Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if that was planned.
Dude, he does get a max range E with the Shen here. Is he going to be able to pick up the Kindred? They do. A flash from Syndra going down onto Velka, onto Xerath bot lane. You do see Ornn attacking the Shen as well, taking down the Shen. It's a bot lane, top lane, bot lane, top lane. It's very fun to watch this.
Now, guys.
It's a very fun game to watch. Just the high action that you were saying before, heavy blood. Both teams are just looking for more and more and more. And the Ornn going in onto the Karthus, but the Shen has ulti up, goes in with Karthus, and gets the kill onto Ornn.
That one's feels bad, man, right there.
Very
great bait, mate, right there. All right. The Shen ulti down, map pressure secured from the side of Phoenix. Genius play, denying map pressure from affecting his bot in mid lane. From this point on, we see interesting patterns gonna develop in the lanes. Obviously, Syndra's super far ahead. Doing really well for herself in the lane, already got 3 kills. Xerath down at 0-2, down quite a bit of CS there too. As I said, this is probably due to the fact that even though Xerath can dodge Syndra E's pretty effectively thanks to his range, it's really hard because you're forced to dodge into Blitzcrank hooks, and you're paired with a Senna who's extremely weak at dealing with Blitzcranks when there's significant damage pressure backing him up. In the top lane, we see a lot of kills, a lot of deaths going down up there, but just even farm should still scale in the late game, even though it's been so bloody. Jungle, Karthus picking up 4 kills already is massive for him. He's super accelerated, even though he doesn't have the absurd farm numbers that you might expect for a Karthus at this point in the game.
Ooh,
that's close.
That one didn't land. This Blitzcrank really limit testing his Q.
Yeah.
And I love it because it's just, you don't expect it when he does land the hook because it's very deceptive.
Yeah, exactly. And with the Blitzcrank hook, it can be so, as you said, deceptive and powerful at picking people off when you're not paying attention. We do, as I said, Karthus super accelerated, gonna do a real good job getting into this game.
Oh, Kindra. I mean... Oh, she just got the ulti. She's gonna be... No, they do steal the red buff and take the Kindred as well. And...
That's a real big red buff.
That's a real big red buff. The Xerath ultimate coming down. Syndra and Blitzcrank just walking back. And we do see Tristana actually coming down from river, looking for a flank here. They do get the hook on to the Xerath, but it's not gonna be enough because Blitzcrank falls almost immediately after that as well. A big win on the side of Funky Ducks here. Just coming out with not only the objective, but a kill lead on top of that in that team fight.
And we're even in gold.
And we're back even, folks.
Yeah. Short plate's going down for the Shen in top lane, really getting that double buff early, helping him out a lot. Still maintaining a little bit of a gold advantage over top of this Ornn, but it shouldn't mean too much for Ornn's game. Mostly just means Shen's gonna hit his split push abilities a little bit faster. In bot lane, we still see Syndra deathless, 4 kills, 0 deaths, 0 assists. Doesn't mean nobody to help her.
X-Tech flash into the hook.
Yeah, and this is just gonna keep happening in bot lane.
A little bit more heavily in lane now because the hooks are just way too nutty right now. They're really fun and great interactive gameplay. You do see something happening topside here. Ornn is going to be using his ultimate, gets a knockup on Shen. He does have the Kindred up with him as well. He's almost falling short, almost dies to Karthus, but does flash the Q here. You do see Kindred doing a little bit more. Here comes the Senna ultimate as well. Lucian coming up to rotate the kill on the Kindred. And overall, like, very safe play by Funky Ducks and really well executed on knowing their limits on how low they are, what they can really do for damage. It's really fun watching them just enter and exit team fights as if they already seen it into the future.
Yeah. And something really interesting about this game here is the
Ooh,
battle between the two carries.
You do see Lucian actually going in for the turret dive there and picking up the low Ornn and coming out on top, knowing that the Kindred's still coming from base, is able to back. And once again, you just see just the hyper-aggressive team play from both sides.
Yeah, exactly. This game, though, really, it looks like it's going to be a battle between two carries here. Between the Karthus and the Syndra, both with 600 gold shutdowns at 12 minutes, both massively ahead of their power spike timings. It'll be interesting to see how this comes about. Syndra obviously has a better pick potential than the Karthus, but Karthus does do damage to everyone at once, one of his specialties. And he might just be able to nuke everyone on the side of Team Tempest before they get a chance to win a team fight. You can't kill him, obviously, because he'll still be able to get all of his damage off. He'll still get his ulti down. So it's just got to be down to building magic resist at this point in time to survive the Karthus.
Syndra does find a Senna alone in the river, almost chunks her down. She does flash. The Senna's flashing in response as well. I don't think she does blast clone over to try and see if she can get the distance closer to Senna, but Senna's just going to walk away, and they're going to be picking up the blue buff here. We do have dragons spawning in about 1 minute and 20 seconds, so you're going to be watching both teams really just going to be warding it out and playing it safe until dragon is spawning.
Yeah, and we see...
Ooh, nice dangerous sun onto the Karthus there, picking down the Karthus, and notably, the shutdown gold goes to the carry you were talking about before, Hunter, and goes, oh, Blitzcrank! He gets a hook and gets the Lucian over the wall, and Syndra is godly.
Yeah, this Syndra 7-0, 7-0-0 already. Reverse James Bond. Going big this game, massive amounts of damage, has the Hextech GLP, gonna be able to pick people out even more effectively with that, hit her skill shots for free with that. As we see, the wettest slap fight in the top lane. Ornn doesn't care though, he wants to ulti,
Oh, Ornn comes out on top in that fight there. Ornn's getting those items, is able just to pick off the Shen with some nice Qs, some Ws, getting that, just that burn onto the Shen there. And it's just like the Blitzcrank success game, very deceptive. When Ornn auto-attacks you and you have the burn on you, it's gonna do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and it's just that, right? Not respecting Ornn's full combo potential. With the nerf, I think without Ignite, you're looking at somewhere between 600 and 800 on the Ornn, and just... He does a deceptive amount of damage, but we're back to fighting in the top
fight
lane.
Don't end. The party don't stop. Shen going on to Ornn, Kindred going on to Karthus, Zeroth ultimate going down, Karthus ultimate going down. They are pretty low. They're going to sit in the Kindred ultimate to stop that Syndra ultimate coming down, taking out the Kindred. There is the Lucian. He is going to ult in, but unable to kill the Blitzcrank. They are going to be looking for the dragon now. Is the Syndra going to be responding to this? They do have Tristana. They are posing for it. They might look for a quick kill here. Syndra does have ultimate ready. They do land the E with the Syndra. They re-engage onto the Syndra. Ultimate going down. It's not enough. The Shen is going to be TPing. Sorry, not TPing. Ulting on to the Lucian. Ornn is here to fight as well. He's going to be engaging onto 4 members of the enemy team. Tristana Goomba stomping. Gets onto that. They're going to be exhausting on to the Lucian, but it's not going to be enough. Shen getting a massive double kill onto Tristana, onto Ornn, and they're going to re-engage the dragon once more.
Yeah, huge team fight coming out of Funky Ducks here. Lucian got the 1k shutdown onto the 8-0 Syndra at the start of that fight. We also saw beginning, way before that even, the interaction between Kindred ulti and Karthus ulti, just making it so hard for Karthus to solo finish off the kills. He might be able to get everyone low, but if you can't finish them off, that doesn't matter. But luckily, Lucian comes in, Shen comes in, and the rest of his team's there to back it up.
Blitzcrank from downtown hooks the Senna into the turret, getting a huge pick onto her. Syndra comes in and punches Shen in the face with a bunch of balls.
Yeah, just getting a little over-eager there. Shen trying to save his teammate there and just not able to pull it through, takes turret aggro after the Senna dies. Syndra picking up another kill. Blitz.
He didn't get over the wall. The Kindred is onto the Karthus and is going to be picking him up. Now she just has to dodge the Qs, sidestep, get on out of there.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, Nelly. This is gonna be a good game.
Oh, geez, there's so many kills. It's 2 kills per minute right now at 17 minutes. The first turrets of the game are going down 30 kills into it. The fighting don't stop. Karthus has started to fall demonstrably behind the point he was at before. He was 6-1, now all the way down at 6-4. Completed a complete Morellonomicon, which is nice to cut the healing from the Kindred ulti, but not really for anything else. We see Blitzcrank.
Oh, Blitzcrank is again it!
And she just dies to one ability. Oh, jeez. Not good.
The Blitzcrank! How does he do it? He does it every time. He just goes in and hooks it, and they just fall short, and it just happens.
A little bit of preliminary MVP discussion here. It's not going to Syndra in this lane.
Syndra is popping off and doing a lot of damage, but these Blitzcrank hooks have been nutty.
Yeah, exactly. And something I wanted to talk about this earlier, but we haven't got any breaks this game, and I don't think we will right now, but I'm just going to keep talking until we have to stop. We saw big pressure coming out in the draft against the support player of Team Tempest champion pool. We saw Nautilus banned, we saw Thresh banned, and we saw Leona banned. A bunch of high laning power engaged supports that really seem to fit this sort of playstyle that they're exhibiting on the Blitzcrank this game. And I really want to call out picking the Senna into a player who you know will pick Blitzcrank to counter it. It just doesn't sit well with me that you're blind picking the Senna in what you may have planned to be a Zera Senna lane, maybe not. But when you're picking the Senna, you're just begging them to pick another champion, which I assume they're good at, the Blitzcrank here, and we're really seeing it pay off in spades in this laning phase and moving even into this mid game now.
Yeah, you do see the Xerath teleporting away to the back turret there. Going back to base and going to be doing a nice reset for the Cloud Soul. Ooh, Syndra, are you able to pick this up? She does get the ultimate off, does land it. Lucian goes down. Shen didn't get the full ulti proc and does fall. You do see them onto the Shelly. They do pick up Shelly as well, really getting those nice objectives. And they're slowly starting to do a snowball effect here. But this game is still relatively close. Watching these two teams fight, it's very entertaining, really back and forth, and heavy blood all around. And dictating the way these fights and how they're going to go. Xerath gets knocked up by the Ornn ultimate. You see the Kindred going down, the ulti coming down from Karthus, but everyone's going to be sitting into the Kindred ultimate. You do see the Ignite going down on Karthus. The Blitzcrank is going to be slowly dwindled away. Get the stun off from Xerath's E. There goes the Blitzcrank going towards the Senna here. And now Team Tempest just have to do a reset and have to get prepared for this next dragon.
Yeah, and we do see it is a Cloud Rift. Cloud Dragon spawning in 25 seconds right now. We haven't got enough time to talk about actual team comps and scaling. With Karthus failing to snowball his advantage any further, it really, I feel, puts Team Tempest in a good position in this game. Shen will have the advantage as in the split push, as we talked about before, but Ornn's still a brick wall. He should just be able to stand there and not lose too much. Should see this dragon going over relatively easily to the side of Funky Ducks, and that does put them on a Cloud Soul point, but it is Cloud Soul, and their team's not exactly the best at utilizing it. It'll be nice for Lucian and Shen, of course, and it's okay on the side of Senna just to be able to reposition after ulti. Same thing with Xerath, but
I do really like it on Karthus. More Karthus ultimates are definitely really
CDR
fun.
absolutely is nice, but the movement speed isn't going to be overtly relevant on these champions. But you do raise a good point. CDR on all of these champions, save for maybe Lucian, is actually massive.
We do see the Ornn ultimate coming down here. Going to be knocking it up onto the Lucian. They are gonna fall back a little bit here. They don't really have another great engage. No picks on either side here. It should be interesting and to know what teams are going to be doing next in response to what's going to happen. Blitzcrank going to do a Hextech Flash, trying to see if he can pick someone off. Hunter, what can you say on both sides? What are they going to need to do to help with their win clause here, and what they're going to really double down on to just win the next team fight and get the next major objective?
Absolutely. So for the side of Team Tempest here, we see Shen.
Oh, hold up. Shen going in onto the 4 members of Team Tempest, and them going, no, no, no. We will end your life right here and now. They're going to do another quick transition to the top side of the map and try and get some more objectives this way.
Yeah. So, sorry, to answer your earlier question, Team Tempest really needs to play team fights well on a mechanical level. I know that's sort of lame to say as strategic analysis, but it really does come down to that. It means hitting their skill shots, it means Blitzcrank hitting their hooks, Syndra hitting her stun, and it means them playing really well around the Kindred ulti in respect to the Karthus ulti. Same thing with Ornn ultis, hitting those, and just the 280 carries playing team fights out appropriately, not getting picked off by CC or stuns. From the side of Funky Ducks, it's a lot more interesting. They really have to play the map to win this game. They need to use the Lucian and the Shen in the side lanes and use that to pressure. Even though Lucian doesn't really have a winning matchup into this Syndra, in combination with the Shen ulti, he may be able to pull stuff out, especially if he starts getting some magic resist. He should be able to actually duel the Syndra if the Shen's got fast fingers.
They do get a nice pick onto the Senna from Syndra herself there. Xerath ultimate coming down, but is not able to really get another pick in response to this. We're going to see another regroup mid and reattempt at this mid lane turret. See if they can end it. They do have a Blitzcrank right there. He does get a pull onto Lucian. Ornn ulti coming down. Kindred's going to be in the side lane. Does knock off the Lucian. Big damage from the Kindred. There's going to be an Ornn going into the turret. They're going to get some nice damage off that way. Going to get a big knock-up. Everyone's going to be sitting in the Kindred ultimate. But a huge shutdown. Kindred ultimate does fall short before the giant rapture coming down from the Karthus. Getting a nice shutdown onto the Kindred here. But I don't think the Xerath's going to have enough to really stop the members of Team Tempest from taking this turret. They do get a nice hook onto Xerath as well. There's another big damage onto Blitzcrank, onto Ornn. You have 3 members really low. The Ornn is going to stay in the front line trying to protect them. But I think after that incident, they're going to have a quick reset. And you do see Dragon coming up in about 1 minute and 20 seconds here. And this next Dragon is going to be really big for Funky Ducks, and they're going to really try and get this soul point just so they have the potential for Elder to really change the next team fight, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And with the Cloud Soul point coming up in 1 minute, you really do want to be able to fight for this from the side of Team Tempest. You have the stronger 5 versus 5. Karthus ulti is currently on cooldown. It will actually not be up at the start of the fight. It'll come up about 15 seconds after the dragon spawns. So you have a very narrow window of opportunity to kill the Karthus before he's able to ulti in the fight. Senna ulti as well is going to be down for the fight, and you're not going to be missing anything other than maybe Kindred ulti for the first few seconds. Kindred ulti up in 30 seconds is actually going to be up before Karthus ulti as well. You have a very, very narrow window of opportunity where you guaranteed win a team fight if you hit Ornn ulti. And taking that's going to be imperative for being able to secure this dragon, or you can just hit a flip hook.
But unable. There's the Ornn ulti. It does land on the Lucian. He does get picked off by the Syndra. Xerath ultimate coming down as well. Karthus is just doing the damage that he needs to do here. Shen is back to being in the front line. He's going to see if he can get a pick, get something, but it's not going to be enough because the Karthus in the backside there is going to be picked off by Syndra. They're going to re-engage onto the Shen here. You do see the Tristana going in with the Goomba Stomp, going out onto the Shen. The Kindred ultimate going down, getting some nice heal off for her teammates. And that's going to be clean engage, 1 for 3 exchange, and they're going to be looking on to Dragon here.
Yeah, and there's that opening that I just talked about. The Karthus dies with 3 seconds left on his ulti, can't get it off in time, and because of that, his team has no way to turn the fight. There's not enough damage going down onto the side of Team Tempest, they just blow through the front line, pick off the kills where needed, and steamroll the team fight. I'm surprised they didn't even transition it into the Baron immediately with this much of a pressure advantage on the map, perhaps worried about the Shen TPing in with the Karthus ulti. But even that said, they still have a massive advantage. Cloud Soul has been denied. Another a bit of CDR coming out, really nice for the Kindred, for the Ornn, and can do some nice work for the Syndra if she keeps finding as many picks as she has been thus far this game. And
Syndra is popping off this game. She has been on point with trying to just track the enemy team and really getting really good picks in large team fights. During all of this chaos, she's able to find an enemy laner and go, hey you, goodbye, and then it's just over.
yeah, absolutely. Great picks coming out of the Syndra. Massive damage, as you noted. And just being where you don't expect the Syndra to be, having wards, and you really have to praise her teammates for helping with that as well. Wards where the side of Funky Ducks don't expect it. They keep getting caught out on vision. Syndra keeps eating them, scatter the weak over the wall, and just one-shotting them. 15-1 at this point in the game. Another 1k shutdown sitting on her
We got a Blitz hook onto the Karthus there into the nice ultimate from Blitzcrank there. You do see the ultimate coming down onto Karthus. It's not going to really pick anyone off, but it's going to be a good pick on the side of Blitzcrank.
Yeah, and at this point, I'd really like to see the side of Team Tempest go for this Baron.
Happy feet, happy feet. Quickly dodge it. Yeah.
And all that comes out of that is 2 shields popped, right? We saw the Tristana, that's what that champion's called, and the Blitzcrank both have their passive shields proc.
You do see the Ornn ultimate coming down, and Syndra is on the front lines, actually just about to 3v1 them, but does get shut down by Lucian. Enough time to buy her team so they can secure the Baron here. Ornn's just going to be holding it off, making sure that they don't re-engage. Kindred's going to be trying to pick up her blue buff. Ornn actually taking up the blue buff instead. And another quick reset. A good win on the side of both teams, actually, with the Funky Ducks picking up the shutdown onto the Syndra, and on the side of Team Tempest getting the Baron.
Yeah. And actually, funnily enough, 10% of Lucian's income this game has come from killing the Syndra twice. That's a second 1k shutdown for the Lucian onto this Syndra. He's doing well in his items. He's building his Mob Malmortius now, working towards a point where he'll be able to split push. Shen already got his armor items, looks to be avoiding magic resist like it's the plague, just knowing that he's going to have to face Ornn, Kindred, and Tristan in these side lanes, and that if he's the one getting ulted by the Syndra, he's a happy camper. So, moving into the next stage of this game, even though the team fighting is extremely favorable for Team Tempest, if we see good map play...
Ooh, very close. If without the flash there, Shen was going to be Blitzcrank hooked into that team and was going to be picked off. A good call on Shen for getting the flash, but notably here, it will be down for the next dragon fight.
Yeah, but I don't think you want to fight dragons. There's no threat of soul. You just, every time that Team Tempest goes to secure this second Cloud Dragon, this third Cloud Dragon, you're able to just get turrets. You can probably get inhib in the top lane if you stall 4 versus 1 good enough. Heck, you could put the Lucian in the top lane, have the Shen TP to him, and just easily take an inhib in the top side while you're stalling at Dragon. But we
Ornn
really
ultimate is going to be coming down, does land onto the Karthus, into a knock-up onto Karthus with his E, and then you do see the engage from Lucian being knocked out, knocked away, and knocked up by the Tristana there. The Karthus going to be picking up a kill onto Kindred. Blitzcrank getting a kill onto Shen here, and we're going to see more if they're going to be trying to crack the space, or you do see the flash hook from Blitzcrank. Does pick up the Senna, but unable to really knock her up with the Syndra. She's just a little bit too far away to get that damage that she needs to do here. With the Baron buff, though, I'm not sure if they're going to be leaving, if they're not going to be resetting here. They are fairly low, and Dragon is going to be respawning, so it's probably the best bet here is to reset, go to Dragon, get the Dragon, and then do it again.
Yeah, and we see actually some of the perils of team fighting as Syndra there. If it's not for her impeccable dodging in that entire team fight, one more skill shot hit by the Xerath, hit by the Shen taunt, the even just the Qs coming out of the Senna, that Syndra is going to be at like 100 HP and easily could have died that fight. And that's the idea of the Xerath counterpick right now comes to fruition. We see these fights going down again. The dragon should go down for free for the side of Team Tempest, but
There's a nice damage from Syndra, exploding. 2 members of Funky Ducks here getting the kill onto the Karthus. The ultimate is off now. They're going to try and get any more members here. They are going to go for the flank. The Ornn, the Kindred, the Tristana are all going down. They're going to do a nice disengage on the side of Funky Ducks here. Lucian did fall earlier. Kindred onto the flank. They're going to get a nice read onto the Kindred. She does off the ultimate, though, and is trying to take out the Shen. Does take out the Shen. Does take out the Senna. And that should be an open inhibitor now, if not just the inhibitor. They are going to be respawning in about 10 seconds from Karthus. So it's not end game here, but huge win on the side of Team Tempest.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see 2 inhibs fall here. At the very least, the second inhib turret should fall in the top lane here. Ornn teleporting up to ensure that happens.
Blitzcrank getting another nasty hook. And the ultimate coming down from Karthus. Is it going to be enough? It is not enough to take out the Kindred. But we do have the Xerath ult going down. He is going to be able to take out the Kindred. We do have the Lucian going in as well. And it is going to be a nice cleanup on the side of Funky Ducks. And Senna ult. Not quite. Not quite. Almost.
Very, very close.
Very close. Very close. Very close.
We really see what the Funky Ducks team comp is supposed to do in this game, but it's just getting punished so hard by this Blitzcrank pick. Whether or not maybe it came out as a surprise in the draft phase and they weren't expecting to see it, but this Blitzcrank pick is just dominating this game. I know this score says 17 kills on the Syndra, but I'm pretty sure between 10 and 13 of those have solely come from Blitzcrank hooks. It's unbelievable. Blitzcrank only with the 15 assists, not getting the credit they deserve on the scoreboard this game.
Some Blitzcrank's hooks I completely disagree with, but you know what? It works, right? So
yeah, and it's providing so much power in this game right now. Every single team fight is a 4 versus 5 this game, because Blitzcrank hits a hook or Syndra presses R on someone. At best, it's a 4 versus 5. And there's just not the items coming out on the side of Funky Ducks.
Lucian finds a Blitzcrank, finds an Ornn. I think he's going to be... No, he cannot! Blitzcrank gets another hook! And a knockup from the Ornn. Is it going to be enough to take out the Lucian? Goomba Stomp Tristana coming in hot. There goes the Syndra going in hot. Taking out this Senna with her ultimate. And now what's going to happen next? They could transition into a Baron or potentially into an inhibitor. I think they're going to be leaning more towards the Baron, though.
Yeah, and this is just that it's a free Baron, or they might even be able to win the game. They decide not to push their luck, take the safe option. Killing the Baron here really easily. We might see the Xerath try...
Blitzcrank lives. 2-man stun from the Syndra. She's just...
Is this a replay?
She is coming back, and instead of the 3v1 where she gets caught out, she says, no, 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 no. I'm more prepared this time. I have an Ornn upgrade. And is just massive. Usually you'd see like a tank top laner really defending. It's Syndra this game. She is just zoning off this team and making sure that they stay far away.
Yeah, exactly. And the Syndra's in these Baron fights just sitting in that bush, forcing the side of Funky Ducks to walk into her. And there's nothing they can do. They have the blue trinket on Lucian, but what good is seeing the Syndra gonna do for you? You can't affect her before she's able to hit your Scatter the Weak in that choke point. And at that point, it's already too late. We see another Ornn item upgrade coming out onto the locket from Blitzcrank. I believe that's all of the upgrades, and it is. That's a fully stacked team. Currently looking at an 11k gold advantage on the scoreboard, but that gold advantage much closer to 20k. Just because of the way that Kindred stacks work and Ornn passive, that gold advantage is just unbelievable in the hidden stats that you don't see in this game. And Kindred herself sitting with 7 stacks too, that's plus 100 attack range, and you can't put a price on attack range, it's such a valuable stat. all these things put together makes it so hard for the side of Funky Ducks to contest in these team fights. That's why I pushed so hard earlier. Oh, and that's the dead Karthus.
There's the Syndra coming with their ball stack. Gonna take a Karthus out of the mid lane.
I don't want to dignify that, but...
Big crap coming in mid lane.
We do see Senna trying to do her best and stack in response. She's sitting at 110 right now, doing really well for herself, but she's lacking on items thanks to this Blitzcrank hooking her every 5 seconds. And really, from this point on, I'm not sure what you can do from the side of Funky Ducks. You've really lost your ability to split push due to inhibs falling, due to barons falling, due to these dragons going over. You've lost that 7 minutes that you had last time we brought this up to really apply pressure on the map. And now you're really looking at taking a miracle team fight, finding some picks onto the Syndra and the Kindred maybe. But you don't really have great pick tools.
Right now, you're just seeing some casual trading between like the Shen and the Blitzcrank, the Ornn being the front laner that he really wants to be, and they're taking it nice and slow, and they're gonna slowly just keep chipping away at the enemy team, and slowly, I think, coming to a close victory and or a soul this game. But we're gonna see. They do have minions topside. They're gonna be all coming there. Ornn ultimate going down onto the Shen himself, gets a nice knock up there, and that's going to be a nice kill going on to the Shen. You're going to see Syndra doing a big ultimate heal out coming from Senna there. She does have to flash away. The Tristana just going in, tanking out the Karthus there, and Karthus ultimate actually, I'm not sure what the interaction there was, but it actually got canceled.
I think
maybe he
ulted
before he died.
I think what happened there is there is a slight delay on Tristana's damage on her R, and I think he pressed it at the end of the R and then died to the damage from the R. Actually, it'd be interesting to look at, but we do see Team Tempest pushing down the Nexus turret. Gonna
coming in
at the Nexus.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna end it here. Kindred ultimate coming down. They're just gonna auto attack the Nexus. They are not gonna die. Big win on the side of Team Tempest. Very fun game to watch. Heavy fight from both teams. But coming out on top, you see Team Tempest just really staying focused to the game plan. They lost the early dragons. They said, okay, but we still have the late game. We have the Ornn. This Syndra is popping right now and doing massive damage. We can use this to our advantage. And then you see slowly team fight after team fight, finding pick after pick, going in for just not one, not two, but 3 Cloud Drakes, which just made the Syndra have way more ultis than she needed to, and it was incredible. A very well played on the side of Team Tempest, but also on the same time, the Ducks here, they did very well. You saw what their team comp was supposed to do, but just got blitz hooked a lot. And Blitzhook actually came out really on top this game with just clutch after clutch after clutch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Hunter, what are your final thoughts, takeaways, and like MVP and ace of this game?
Yeah, right. So, coming into this game, we see the heavy focus on support bans, and we see Blitz left up. It's possible that Blitz comes in as a surprise pick here, and if it does, we'll work with that, right? Blitz coming in as the surprise pick in this draft, into the Senna, into the Xerath, into all of these squishies, Shen being the only person who might be able to survive the Blitz hook, and it really, really pays off here. The Blitzcrank practice that they're putting in behind the scenes, not letting anyone see it, really shows up big and takes this game by storm. And obviously we have to commend this Syndra, phenomenal play coming out of Ultimate Ace, 21-2, and 7 assists to back that up. Disgusting amounts of damage. I wish I could look at the damage charts right now, but I just can't not give the MVP to this Blitzcrank, hitting hooks in lane phase, hitting hooks in mid game, hitting hooks in every team fight, making every team fight impossible, even if the Syndra didn't already have 20 kills. On the side of Funky Ducks, what can I say? I mean, they picked a good team comp theoretically into this, into the Team Tempest lineup. We saw it go very even early game. even advantages coming out in places that weren't bot lane. That Lucian actually had perma roam this entire game. He had pressure in every lane, always roaming first. Tristana never able to get out of her lane, but it just never came to fruition because they couldn't put the split push game plan together. Shen was never allowed to have time in the side lane. Lucian didn't build magic resist fast enough to deal with the Syndra in the side lane, so he couldn't split push himself. And they couldn't really make the comp work in that sense. Same thing with the Karthus. Karthus fell behind a little too early and wasn't able to accommodate. I want to give the... I'll give the ace to the Lucian, just like I said, the perma roaming and just having a good scoreline at the end of the game. But I really think this game was not decided by players so much as it was decided by a failure to execute on a very difficult to execute comp from the side of Funky Ducks.
Very well said there, Hunter. And please stay tuned for our final match of the game here between Team Tempest and Funky Ducks. I have a secret word coming in saying that this next game is going to be very fun to watch. Hello and welcome back, folks, to our final match of the day between Team Tempest and Funky Ducks here. Hunter, give me your quick takeaways from last match, what you kind of want to see this match and what you kind of want to see taken away from them this match as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that we see last game was very heavily dominated by the Syndra, by the Blitzcrank, and by the pressure that they created on the game with picks and the like, I'd like to see either that playstyle played around better in the bot lane draft or the Blitzcrank, Syndra sort of champions just outright taken away from the side of Team Tempest.
Very well said there, Hunter. And let's go right into our picks and bans here. And I see it, Hunter. Do you see it?
I see a very interesting draft.
I'm looking at it, and I'm feeling the return.
All right, so let's just assume that all of these picks occurred simultaneously in blind pick, because I don't want to talk about pick ordering in this, because none of it makes any sense to me, I'll be honest. It's other than Syndra, Ornn, and Orianna are all good early picks. They all match well into blind picks and each other. So let's talk about this draft. I do know what the roles are going to be this game, so I think it's important to talk about it in that context. In the top lane, we will have Twitch versus Ornn. I don't know how this matchup goes. I don't know why it was picked, and I have to imagine that it goes very badly for Twitch. Just because Ornn will engage on him permanently, and I don't know what the Twitch does to counter that after Ornn gets a single item. But I've never seen it. How can I really know? In the jungle, we have Nunu versus Yasuo.
It has returned!
We do see the return of the Yasuo jungle, which was very impressive the last time we saw it come out of the side of Team Tempest. As a Yasuo player myself, I still have no idea how it works or why it works, but it has worked in the past, and I'm very interested to see if that happens again. Into the Nunu. Nunu's a pain in the butt for a Yasuo to deal with, but I don't know if it matters. I feel like the Yasuo might actually have fast enough clear to just walk around the Nunu. We'll see how it plays out. In the mid lane, contrary to what any human would believe, it is Vayne versus Orianna.
Big flex.
Orianna's got a wave clear advantage. She's got an early skirmish advantage. She's got poke advantage, all-in advantage so long as she's not pushed up to turret. 2v2 advantage probably with the Yasuo, though I don't really know how Yasuo works in a mid-jungle 2v2. Roam advantage. She's literally got every advantage in this lane, but I somehow feel like she's gonna... And this has nothing to do with the player, I just mean because it's Vayne in the mid lane and it's somehow gonna win. I don't know why, but somehow the Vayne in the mid lane is gonna pull it out this game, I'm sure, and do something crazy and succeed. In the bot lane, we have Syndra versus Talia and Nautilus versus Set. Talia bot lane, I feel, works really well with targeted CC effects. Set is almost that, and it'll be really difficult to execute, but if they have their synergy in line, this is an extremely brutal lane to play against. Super high all-in potential, and some healthy poke and survivability on top of that. Nautilus is the perfect support to shut everything I just talked about down because he's too tanky to die and does too much damage to hard engage into and can pick you off if you're trying to poke. Nautilus is stupid. We all know this. Syndra in the bot lane as well is a good combo with the Nautilus, able to put down damage, but somehow the Syndra Nautilus into Talia Set is the least interesting matchup in this game. And speaking of this game, let's get right into it.
Let's jump right on in, folks. I'm hyped.
All right, rolling into this game, I don't really have to do too much talking about these lane matchups as I got to do that during draft this time, but let's talk a little bit about how these teams might theoretically match up coming into the mid and late game. We do see the side of Team Tempest here with an excruciatingly annoying to play against teamfight comp for these 80 carries and the Syndra.
Oh, there's a Nunu! Nunu from the enemy team! And first blood going into the hands of Set here.
Yeah, and that's... I mean, thankfully it went to the Set, so it shouldn't be the end of the world for the side of Funky Ducks. Kill going over to practically any other champion on the side of Team Tempest might have been the GG Re, but it wasn't. I think Team Tempest has a really big advantage this game. I'll admit I'm a little bit biased. I don't like the concept of Twitch top lane with Ignite and press the attack. I don't like the concept of Vayne mid lane into an Orianna.
We do see a lane swap here, Hunter. Just want to do a quick reaction. We do see Vayne top this time, Twitch mid.
Okay, so this fixes some of the issues.
And he's immediately engaging onto Orianna. Orianna having to use her barrier already. This is just a level 1 fight here. Big damage on both sides, but the Talia and Set roam up. The Twitch has to flash away. The Orianna is back. They are gonna go right back onto Twitch, and Set picks up another kill with a nice left hook.
All right, so let's talk about this, I guess. So now I do have
right
some new lanes to talk about. All right, that's actually pretty hilarious. So Orianna, you mentioned that she had to use her barrier.
There's another fight happening bot lane. Sorry to stop you there, Hunter, but this fight don't stop. Pain Train keep on going on and on. We do see a nice engage from the Nautilus onto the Set, doing big damage. But with the Set passive, and he has Omni Stone as well, he's just going to be able to live from this very carefree, actually.
Yeah. So trading going on there. All right, so let's talk about top lane really briefly, then I'll talk about mid lane. Top lane, Vayne into Ornn, obviously 1,000 times better than Twitch into Ornn. Silverbolt's gonna do a lot for applying damage. Tumble means that she should be pretty much untouchable from the Ornn. And Condemns there is just nice.
There's a set E. The flash from Nautilus does save his life there. Big damage going down onto the Nautilus here. But the aggression from this bot lane hasn't stopped from the start of this match.
Yeah.
Oh, and a re-engage from the Nautilus onto the Talia. They do get a nice ignite off, and then there goes the Syndra on to the set. The set does pick up the kill onto the Nautilus here.
That's a 3-0 set at 3 minutes. And
kill per minute.
Literally the only champion on his team who doesn't
flash
snowball.
in from set. Unable to pick up the Syndra, and then you just see a fight happening top lane. You do see a fight happening in the jungle as well. Yasuo versus Nunu. Nunu pretty healthy and sustained here. So I think he typically wins those.
I mean, that was at a level disadvantage, so I have to imagine Nunu wins these. But we do see the Yasuo pulling 2 camps ahead already. Very clearly has the clear advantage on the Nunu.
They have practice. They have mastered the Yasuo jungle.
Yeah, apparently. Now, I promised I'd touch a little bit on this mid lane. It's pretty much the same issue as Vayne, except you just die every time Orianna has Shockwave, right?
You're saying that synergy from bot lane, and then you see it again, and here comes Nunu with a snowball, but the minions are going to stop that there. But like you were saying before, the synergy between the Talia, between the set there, getting the rocks out on the field there, Hextech Flash coming from set. The Talia doesn't quite get the knockback, but the set E actually pulls them into the rocks as well.
Yeah, and we see more seismic shoves coming out in the bot lane, really pressuring this Nautilus. They're going to have a bit of a rough time at this point, already chunked out with 1 death and 3 kills in their lane. Set hasn't been able to spend that gold. Everyone wants to make me a liar in all of these lanes. I'm sure Twitch will win mid lane now somehow, but as I see it, I don't understand how Twitch could win this lane proper. It would just be roam advantage. Which is the one thing Twitch will have over Orianna. Obviously, he's a sneaky little rat and gets to go stealth and walk across the map. Sort of like laning against Evelynn, except this Evelynn has no wave clear and no burst damage.
Hextech Flash coming from set, goes over into the other bush there, surprises the Nautilus with an E, is going to just do a massive damage, but then the re-engage from Nautilus into all of the rocks does make him fall. The set does pick up another kill, and they do a nice disengage there.
The set can't stop. It's
set. 4D chess.
Yeah, 4-0.
And he's doing it again. And he gets the E off. Really? There's a seismic shove, and then the set picks up another kill.
All right, set. Set is 5-0. Geez, I don't know what to say about this. I hope he builds like he's top lane, because, I mean, what else are you gonna do with 5 kills at 5 minutes on support set? Still no Dark Harvest procs. Unfortunate. I don't think. I mean, I haven't actually checked. Yeah, no Dark Harvest procs, actually, which is really surprising, seeing as Nautilus was in that lane for so long and being so low. The waiting really let him down that time. Alright, what's there to say? Farm's going actually way better than it should in mid and bot. Mid and top, rather.
Engage on the top side here. Not much will come of that. Ornn is still, like, has some nice disengage, but here comes the Yasuo. Ornn ulti coming down. There goes the Vayne, and the Yasuo isn't level 6 yet, so he isn't able to knock him up. Flashing onto the Vayne there, killing the Vayne. Now it's the 1v1 jungle experience. Nunu versus the nice Yasuo jungle there. Twitch is actually going to be roaming up top side here. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. It's going to be a 2v1, so we're going to have to watch that as well. And here's the re-engage onto Twitch, and an immediate ult from Yasuo onto Twitch. There is going to try and do the 2v1 extravaganza here. Is doing some nice massive damage. The Twitch is providing some nice poison damage Orianna trying to come in, trying to save the Yasuo, unable to make it. Yasuo does get a kill onto the Nunu. And then here comes the Psychic Sub from the Talia, getting the kill to her this time. Set said, yeah, you can have this one. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm impressed that Set let her have that. I've really got to give these kills to the carry. Okay, so let's talk about
another Psychic Sub, and then dies to Talia under tower.
Can we make a truce about, like, not talking about bot lane fights anymore because it's just gonna be Set getting kills?
I make no promises.
So, this is gonna be the... I don't know if it's hopefully or probably the only time in my life I will get to say the Twitch mid lane ganks the Yasuo jungle in top lane facing the Nunu. And the Yasuo then proceeds to almost win the 1v2 matchup from the jungle. But the Orianna comes in just in time, but the Yasuo picks up the kill with the minion damage onto the Nunu. That sentence has never been said in League of Legends before.
It has been now.
And let's hope it never is again. I think. I don't know, I really like this Yasuo jungle, honestly. It looks pretty good into these sorts of matchups. I don't know how well it does into more traditional meta junglers, like something like Graves, per se. But it looks really good into the Nunu and other slow-clearing junglers, if my memory serves me correctly.
There's some really fun interactions with all members of the team here, and quick objective control from the Yasuo as well, picking up the early Ocean, and it's going to be Cloud Soul next. Yasuo doing some counter jungling against the Nunu here.
And yeah, as you said, we see the Ocean Dragon come down. We see Cloud spawning next. That means no Cloud Rift. A huge boon for anyone who wants exciting games.
Now you do see the ultimate coming down onto the Vayne. Ornn doing a lot of damage, being that just able to chip her down with the nice Q into some nice ult Ws, and really going even. I thought it would be really hard for Ornn to be laying against his Vayne right now, but he's doing really well.
Yeah, especially farm-wise, only down 10. Being able to match a little bit of the damage. Unfortunately for him, it's not great right now, but it only gets worse from here, and I don't know when it gets better. Maybe third item Ornn if he stacks full armor, which he really can do this game, because he's against Twitch Vayne, and those are the two primary DPS carries. After the second or third armor item, Ornn might be able to 1v1 the Vayne, but even then, with Guinsoo's, with Bork, and with maxed out Silver Bolts, it's going to be so difficult to do anything to her. We see Hex Flash has never looked better than it does with Nimbus Cloak on a set with 5 kills.
I'm pretty sure he's just off of cooldown. No matter where he is, he's Hex Flashing.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a playstyle I personally heavily support.
Ooh, he just got Dark Harvest. This is something to note. It's going back in, baby! But the Nunu and the Twitch have both arrived. They're going to be going on to the Talia. Nice shutdown going towards the Nunu here, and they're going to be going trying to get the set as well. He's not going to be able to live with his life. And shutdown going towards the Nautilus here. Big win on the side of Ducks.
Yeah, and they cracked the code, Ryder. You know what the code was? It was Hex Flash.
It's Hex Flash.
And with the code cracked, I'm a little worried that they're just gonna chain gank and have Nunu sit behind turret for every single Hex Flash henceforth. But we do see the Rip Trail be dropped on the bot lane, gonna get a lot of damage down, probably gonna be able to pick up first turret here. Split between 3 people isn't optimal, but it's not the end of the world. That's the 4th plate going down now. Still have a healthy minion wave. But Set will show up, and he looks like he'll protect the turret.
Oh, they do protect the turret, and if you look topside on your minimap there, you see the Yasuo and the Ornn actually just going for first turret themselves. The Vayne was unable to respond to it, and and unable to have a counter engage onto them as well, because all members of the team were on the bot side. Coming in hot for Team Tempest, getting that first turret gold there.
Yeah, and if you thought that something playing against Gragas Yasuo was a problem, try playing against Ornn Yasuo. Just as a laner, understanding that if you get hit by any skill shot and the Yasuo is near your lane, you're dead. That has got to be one of the worst feelings in the world. Good job coming out of Delta up in the top lane there to avoid getting killed by the gank. But
here's a Twitch. He does find a Taliyah, does flash onto her. Set's going to try and ear her away. The Orianna ultimate does come out here as well, picking up the Twitch. Set going in again onto the Nunu with his ultimate. Here comes Ornn. He has his ultimate as well. Gets a nice knock up onto the Nautilus. Here comes Yasuo going in onto the Nunu and onto the Vayne here. Are they going to be able to pick it up? The Ornn are going in for a turret dive, but they are going to be quickly condemned away from that. Let's see if they're going to be doing another re-engage. They are both low. They might just be picking up another turret here right before the 14-minute mark. That'll be 2 turrets. 2 5 plates, I think, going over to Yasuo and Ornn.
Yeah, and that's really big. Yasuo getting really, really, really far ahead in this game. Already working on their first crit item.
Gonna be close, and they get it.
Yeah. I'm actually a little bit surprised to see the warrior come down on a Yasuo jungle, but see Twitch coming in for the gank.
Yeah, the Ornn does flash away, avoiding the Nunu knock up there.
I think the Ornn healed off of the Twitch.
Oh. And then you see the re-engage. Here comes the Nautilus from the side lanes going on to the Ornn. Yasuo going in on the side as well. Set going in onto the Nunu, trying to punish him down. The Nautilus going on to the Yasuo. There is a 3v1 onto Ornn. Ornn is going to fall short, and Vayne does pick up the kill there.
Yeah, good job picking up the kill onto the Ornn in the top lane. Goes over to the Vayne exactly where you want it this game. This Twitch has good farm, reasonable items, 2 kills, and I don't think he's a champion. We see him incapable.
Ow, rocks!
Incapable of trading with Taliyah when she misses every ability in her kit except for Q.
Rocks hurt.
Twitch, everybody. Honestly, I think Phantom is a good player, and I think they're playing Twitch well. I just don't know what the champion does. Or is supposed to do if you don't get a
Twitch is like a definitely like heavy like late game champion, which I'm really excited to see if we get there.
You say that, but
oh, and then a flash going in onto the Syndra with an Orianna ultimate does a nice wombo combo. Set picking up yet another kill here. He is 6-2-5. Incredible support play.
You see, there's a more important part of that play there too, and it means Flash is on cooldown again, so they can keep Hex Flashing.
Hex Flash!
That's really the reason you go for that play. Even if it fails, you get your Flash on cooldown. And that's the goal. The goal is always to put your own Flash on cooldown.
So you do see the Taliyah trading with the Twitch bot lane, but you also see a nice fight happening onto the Nunu there. And Taliyah picking up the kill onto Twitch, and Yasuo picking up the kill onto Nunu. Big win on the side of Team Tempest. Just really doing a lot of work all across the map and heavy fighting. And it just doesn't stop. You do see another engage onto the Vayne here. The Ornn ultimate going down, getting the knockup onto the Vayne. Yasuo is going to be picking up the kill here. And you do see the mid lane turret going down, Hex Flash going in, and going onto the Nautilus. He does get walled by the Taliyah. Massive damage from her as well, picking up the kill onto Nautilus. You see top lane, they're going to be taking down the top turret as well. 3 members of the side of Funky Ducks are going towards mid lane to respond to this, but the top lane turret does fall as well. They are all over this map.
Yeah, Team Tempest pulling really far ahead here. Massive amount of map pressure, 4 turrets, 2-0. That bot lane turret still hasn't fallen for the side of Funky Ducks, and I'd be surprised if they reach that turret for the rest of this game. the 10k gold advantage at 17 minutes bodes poorly for their chances of winning this game. But they do have a Twitch. And
That they do.
if
And
they auto
a nice stun here into a Nautilus ultimate, into a combo there. Nautilus does pick up the kill onto Talia. They're going to be re-engaging onto the set, but scratch that. Here comes Yasuo. He wants more. He wants blood. He is hungry. They do re-engage onto Yasuo here. Yasuo bringing over the Nautilus to the wall. You do see Set engaging onto Nautilus. Set taking out Nautilus pretty cleanly here. Yasuo trying to see if he can ult back over with the wall there. Unable to. You do see Twitch posturing towards topside Shelly, clearing out wards, trying to get objectives. But Ornn
Record
and
strat.
Orianna are going to be responding to this accordingly. And a massive Orianna ulti from the Ornn, just engaging onto the Twitch there. You do see the Ornn ulti coming down. Does that a double knock up onto the Nunu, onto the Syndra. Twitch just kiting around in the backline. You do see Orianna doing the damage that she needs to do as well. Big knock up on the side of Ornn. Nunu coming in with another ultimate. Syndra flashing out to avoid any further potential damage. And that will be the end of that.
Yeah, and really, the Nautilus there finding himself in uncomfortable situation after getting glass coned over the wall, you know, he tries to play it off.
And
Some more fighting.
Set is back. Set is back, and he's ready to attack.
This is the only downside of Hack Flash. You can't use it while moving, like a normal flash.
You see a nice engage from bot lane there. Yasuo going on to Vayne, getting condemned into the turret. Might fall short to the tower, but no, he's still alive. The Twitch is getting a nice shutdown onto Yasuo. If Yasuo lived there, I'm not sure if I'd be happy or sad or angry. Honestly, mixed emotions.
Just want to remind you, he would have killed Twitch there if Syndra hadn't shown up. And once again, Twitch not being played poorly. Just Twitch.
Now, you see that the Infernal Drake has spawned, and we will have
a moment of silence.
Moment of silence for the rat there. But we're going on to the dragon. We're going to see a Talia ultimate going to be trying to zone them out as well. Nautilus being zoned up from team, Syndra being away from her team as well. Set going to be engaging onto both. Orianna ultimate being massive. Syndra going to take out Orianna. Orianna is going to fall short. Set's going to pick up the Syndra. Nunu coming over the wall, stealing the dragon, and gets another kill as well. No, doesn't get a kill. Actually, the Nautilus falls short and dies there. You do see Team Tempest coming out pretty fairly even there, getting 2 kills, falling 1 short, but unable to grab the dragon. They might just be posturing towards the Baron now, as they see Nunu still on the bottom side of the map.
So, I'd say the gap is closing. We have regained 8k gold advantage now only for the side of Team Tempest. But saying the gap is closing is about as genuine as it is when NA says that about Korea, because EU can beat them. We do see the Baron falling the side of Team Tempest, 21 minutes, 6 seconds, going to 2010 rather, going to the side of Team Tempest there. Really big advantage coming out on every single member on the team, except for Ornn, because he's laning into a Vayne, and that's just a bad time for everybody.
I think we had like a quick moment of just calmness, you know?
Yeah.
For once in this game, this game has actually become calm and relaxed.
Not for long, but yeah, absolutely. As we see the reset after the Baron, we should see the final outer turret going down. Final 2 outers even, rather. And I don't really know if that'll mean anything in the end. It'll contribute more gold lead to the side of Team Tempest. They do eventually have to win this game, because if Twitch and Vayne both get to 3 or 4 items, they will be threats to be reckoned with. But I just don't see that happening, given the current gold advantage and team comp, and just how dang easy it is for this Team Tempest comp to just turret dive. Between Ornn ulti facilitating the Yasuo Orianna combos on top of both of those, and Set just being an absolute chungus with this Stone Plate and this Dead Man's Plate. He'll just be able to tank up turrets as long as he wants, just walk in there, punch things to death, and have a good time. And let's not forget.
Oh, set engage into the Ornn. Here goes a big ulti. Yasuo coming in. Orianna ulti going down as well. Ornn double kill. They're going for more of the Yasuo. He's trying to pick up the Twitch. Is unable to. He does pick up the Twitch due to the burn from the red buff. He's going on to the Syndra. Syndra just fall. Tilly is picking up the Vayne. They're going on to the inhibitor and possibly just ending the game. What an incredible performance.
Yeah, and let's not forget
That's it,
that
folks.
is the surrender.
That is it. They were gonna end there.
I respect that.
They were gonna take the victory there. Death timers or not, that Yasuo, that Ornn, all of them performing exceptionally well this game. And once again, just seeing Yasuo being an absolute menace in the jungle. First game I saw him, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how it's gonna work. This game, doubling down, really showing me that Yasuo jungle viable.
Yeah, we can maintain 100% Yasuo jungle win rate on this cast. Twitch, I believe, probably this is like 0 and 5. Just making my point for me, really. I'm sorry, guys. I really hate this champion when it's picked. Talia bot lane coming out again. That happens way more than I'd expect in any normal situation whatsoever. But she's doing well when she's picked. Lots of great synergy coming out. I guess there's not much to talk about this game other than everything went wrong very, very quickly. It also 5-0 set at 7 minutes?
I mean, if
6
you're on the
minutes?
side of Team Tempest, you know, everything went right.
Well, I mean, you played, yeah, probably, actually. You played Ornn in the Vayne, but who cares? You won the game, and the Vayne never had an impact in it, and Ornn did, because Ornn ulti. So, yeah, actually, literally everything went about as well as you can want it to. Let's talk a little bit about Ace and MVP. I gotta give the MVP over to the support on Team Tempest once again. Double MVP coming out for them. The set plays in the early game, really setting his team up, setting himself up, if you will, and I hate talking about this champion because you can't say set without it sounding weird, but he set it up for himself on set, and it was
Would you say
nice.
that it's unsettling to say set?
Yes. Yes, it is pretty unsettling. Double MVP, though. Jokes aside, really great play coming out of them. Lots of pressure in all of these lanes. Excellent engages throughout both of these games. And just really setting his team up for success. Let's talk a little bit about Ace. I almost want to give it to Twitch just because, I mean, they really did try. But I think I have to give it to Vayne. They did what they needed to do in lane. They got their advantages when they needed to. They didn't die. They never overextended and died to a gank. I don't know how you die to a Yasuo gank pre-Ornn ulti, but that's besides the point. Never happened. And even managed to dodge the Yasuo Ornn ultis post-6, which is really, really difficult because you only have to get hit by the second part of the Ornn ulti and you're straight up dead. So, great play coming out in the top lane. Probably really good wave control. We didn't get too much time to look at it because of all the action going on in the river and bot side of the map. But yeah, keep that up. Honestly, good play coming out of Phantom on the Twitch. Just playing Twitch. Not much you can do. Sorry, bud. I'm gonna stop touching on that now, though.
Yeah. Then, what can we say about like the final takeaways from the series as a whole?
Well, you know, I said I wouldn't. I don't want to talk about Twitch, but you keep asking me to. Like, I mean, you're really setting us up for failure.
Do you think we're gonna see more Yasuo jungle in the future?
No.
No?
Not out of anyone other than this one individual. No. I'm not sold on it being good, but it looks pretty dang good in all of these games. So yeah, talking about that, talking about the Yasuo jungle, talking about the series as a whole, uh, sort of more of the same. In the first game, I feel like Funky Ducks really picked a difficult to execute team comp with very narrow. I don't shouldn't say narrow, but precise timings you have to hit. Item spikes that you really need to use to pressure the side lanes, and a lot of fast fingers and a lot of coordination to make it work. And it's really difficult to do that in any environment, let alone an amateur environment where you can't practice 24 hours a day. I've talked about this on other casts before, but I really like seeing the easier 5v5 front to back team comps come out from these teams because it's just so much more consistent and so much easier to execute that the only reason to stray away from it is if you have a special star player on your team, perhaps, who really excels at the split push or at the flank plays or something to that effect. As for game two, what can you say? It's a crazy draft from both teams with really interesting ideas. Some of them worked out really well, like the Yasuo and the set Talia. Some of them didn't work out well, like the mid lane. But that's going to happen when you're trying new things. And I always encourage teams to be able to try new things without fear. I think it's really good. And it leads to some of the strongest innovations you'll see. Again, like the Yasuo jungle and like this set Talia bot lane, which both looked really, really impressive in these games.
Very well said, Hunter. And this was our last match of the game here, folks. We're going to do a quick sign off here. I want to thank everyone a part of the CEAL community. A lot of great games today. A lot of fun to cast all of these. I'm the Dragon Rider, aka Ryder. Joining me today is Hunter, aka Baby, as well. Thanks again for showing up. Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.